Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here with us. If you're a focused learner looking to, really optimize your approach to your career, your personal goals, or just any major ambition in your life, you are in the exact right place. Because today, we're going to explore some brilliant insights on how to fundamentally shift your mindset from a passive state to a completely active state. It's all about how we can stop waiting around for life to happen and actually start engineering our own luck. Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to answer this honestly, just in your own head right now. Are you waiting for opportunities to present themselves? I mean, we've all been there, right? You put your head down, you do the hard work, and you secretly kind of hope the boss finally notices. Or maybe you tell yourself you're just waiting for the perfect economic climate to start that business. But do you ever feel stuck? Like you're just standing at the station waiting for a train of good luck that just never seems to arrive? Well, the central thesis of our explainer today really hits the nail on the head. Success is often determined by one's actions rather than circumstances. Think about how endlessly frustrating it is to constantly rely on external circumstances. The economy, the timing, the mood of the people around you, these are all variables completely out of your hands. But this framework, it flips the script entirely. It takes that frustration of feeling out of control and essentially demands that we look in the mirror and start viewing our own actions as the primary driver of our success. And that brings us right to our first major hurdle, the myth of waiting. It's a huge pain point to realize you've just been a passive bystander in your own life trajectory. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the clear contrast in energy. On one side, we have the passive passenger. Society kind of conditions us to just keep our heads down, be a good employee, and eventually someone will tap us on the shoulder, right? We're essentially taught to wait for the weather to clear before setting sail. But passively waiting for opportunities, it's fundamentally flawed. It's a myth that keeps incredibly talented people completely stagnant. On the flip side, you have the active architect. And I want you to notice two crucial words here: seeking and creating. Seeking means you're actively hunting for hidden potential. Creating means that when an opportunity doesn't even exist yet, you literally build it from the ground up yourself. So, how do we become that active architect? Well, we rely on three core pillars, starting right here with pillar one, true proactivity. Now, true proactivity isn't just about moving around and looking busy. It means recognizing that opportunities don't just magically fall into your lap. They require targeted initiative and sustained effort. Notice the two steps here. First, you identify them, and second, you capitalize on them. Let's make this real for a second. Let's say a process is totally broken at work. Everyone identifies the problem, right? We all sit in the meetings and complain about the exact same inefficiencies. But the proactive architect, they're the one who stays late on a Thursday to build the automated spreadsheet that actually fixes it. It takes initiative to spot a gap, but it takes immense effort to actually capitalize on that observation and turn it into a win. Of course, once that proactive engine is running, you're inevitably going to hit some roadblocks. And that brings us to pillar two, radical resourcefulness. And this brilliantly illustrates how resourcefulness is essentially your problem-solving skills and adaptability in action. It's not just about being clever. When an active architect faces a closed door, they don't just sit down in the hallway and give up. They adapt, they pick the lock, they find a window, or they literally knock down the wall. It's like a giant puzzle. When you have zero budget and a tight deadline, you're forced to genuinely innovate. Resourcefulness means viewing every constraint not as a stop sign, but as a chance to flex your adaptability. Now, to sustain this over a lifetime, we need the final and most crucial psychological shift. Pillar 3, absolute ownership. So the crucial point is that true ownership means taking full responsibility for your success rather than relying on external factors. Think about it. We have proactivity to start the engine, we have resourcefulness to navigate the obstacles, but without ownership, those first two pillars will just crumble the second things get difficult. When a massive client pulls out, or the market shifts unexpectedly, it's so easy to blame the competition or just bad luck. But absolute ownership demands we strip away those excuses. Taking responsibility, even for things that feel slightly out of our control, is how we reclaim our agency. We become the ultimate authority on our own outcomes. All right, now we are going to synthesize these three distinct pillars into a practical, actionable blueprint for becoming the architect. Let's move to and see how this builds chronologically into a repeatable cycle. Step 1. You identify with proactivity. You survey the landscape and actively look for hidden opportunities instead of waiting for a clear path. Step 2. When that initial plan inevitably encounters friction, you adapt with resourcefulness. You use your constraints to fuel your problem solving and you pivot. And finally, step 3. Regardless of the outcome, you command with ownership. You accept the results, you internalize the lessons without blaming the economy, and you immediately prepare for the next cycle. Now, in the relentless pursuit of these goals, you've got to keep these 3 traits in mind. You must be proactive, persistent, and resilient. It's a rapid-fire combo. Taking action once isn't enough. You need proactivity to ignite the spark, persistence to keep the fire burning day after day, and immense resilience to bounce back when the world pushes back hard against your plans. Which leaves us with a really vital question to wrap up our explainer today. Look at how far we've come from that initial myth of waiting. Will you continue to rely on circumstances, just kind of hoping the stars simply align for you? Or will you take action, harness your resourcefulness, claim absolute ownership, and step up to build your own fortune? The blueprint is right here. But the choice of whether to pick up the tools and build, well, that's entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep building.